Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again for another art prompt video. Today we are going to be doing a day in the life. So you're going to pick a day of the week that you want to do this on, and we are going to draw a clock, and you're going to kind of outline your schedule on that day of the week, what your day-to-day looks like from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to bed. And this is just kind of a fun way to plan out your day if you're like me and you do like to plan or schedule things out. And it's also kind of a way to see how much time you have in your day, because I know sometimes we always think, oh, I just don't have time for all these tasks that I have to do on my list, and then you write out the things that you're doing in the day and you realize, okay, well, I've got time here and here and here, and if you were to schedule or time manage a little bit better, you'd be able to squeeze in a little bit more. So this is just kind of a way to test that out and to see kind of what your day looks like, and if you've got room for more stuff, or if you need to take out stuff, or just what your day looks like. So the first step is we're going to draw a nice big clock on your page. So I've got big circle here, and then I'll add my numbers going around. So take this time right now to draw out your clock. You can draw the big and little hand if you like, but you don't have to, because we're gonna go throughout the whole day. But start with that, and then we'll come back and we'll start at our morning routine. Alright, so there's numerous ways you can do this. So if the way that I'm doing it doesn't make sense or it doesn't feel right to you, feel free to kind of be creative and do it in whatever way makes sense. But I need you to pick, if you're doing it my way, I need you to pick a couple colors just to represent morning and evening, just so things don't get confusing if you circle back around. So I'm just going to put a little label at the top saying morning and evening. So if you guys want to do that too, we can do that right now. Also, if you want to label what day you're doing, you can do that right now as well. So pick the day of the week that you want to do this for. I'm just going to do it for today, for Friday. So I'm going to write mine on the top. Again, you can write yours wherever you like, but it's good to kind of have a label of what day we're looking at. So you can do that again right now. Okay, so now it's time to go through our routine. So on the day that you picked, let's start with the time of day that you wake up. So you can draw a squiggly line, a straight line, however you want to connect it on your clock. You're more than welcome to. I'm going to grab my morning color. I'm just going to use this for a straight line. And I'm going to connect it from the center of my clock to the time of day that I wake up. So you guys can do that right now. And then I'm gonna label this line, wake up. Okay, so something like that. So Fridays, I've usually got about a 6 a.m. wake up. So I've got my morning color pointed to my 6. All right. And then from there, we're going to move on to anything that you're doing after you wake up. For example, I usually go to the dog park or take my dog for a walk. So add anything after that. And then we will continue kind of moving along throughout the day. So you've woken up. What happens throughout the rest of the morning? I'll let you guys kind of continue on, let's say until 9 o'clock. So do from whenever you wake up in the morning until 9 o'clock, and then we'll continue on after that. All right, so I've got my morning done from 6 to 9 a.m. If you noticed, I also just grabbed another color to write down extra details. If you feel like there's more that you want to write, feel free to do that. So let's move on to our second part of the morning, so 9 to 12. So on a Friday for me, I'm usually at work at this time of the day, so I'm gonna kind of go through what my work morning looks like. A lot of you guys will know. So continue on. So if you picked a weekend, your day might look very different. Maybe your day doesn't start until 9 or 10 o'clock, which is fine. You can start yours there too. But let's continue on to the 9 to 12, in the 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we'll move on to our afternoon after that. All right, so once you hit noon, we're now in our evening color or our afternoon color. So we'll switch those up. So now let's move on from 12 to 3. So we'll do the next 3 hours. continue on doing just as you're doing. If you feel like you forgot something and you need to go back, feel free to go ahead and do that. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be something that happens every single time on this day, but it's just kind of your average. For me, my average Friday, right now with COVID, I'm just at the office for half days, so the rest of my days are at home doing work. But again, when things are normal, I'm typically at the office all day or at people's houses, so just do it to however it feels best to you and whatever your normal is now. Okay, so let's continue on 12 to 3. Okay, so with our 12 to 3 done, let's move on to our 3 to 6. Continue on in your evening color. The rest of the ones will be in your evening color if you're doing the 2 separate colors. So again, let's do 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Fill in your schedule, what it typically looks like. It could include evening activities or when you have dinner, potentially, if you have earlier dinners. Anything like that, okay? All right, so moving on to further in the evening, let's do our 6 to 9. So some people may be eating dinner in that period. Some people may have more activities to go to, or maybe a favorite show that they like to watch. Whatever you typically have planned on this day between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And just try and fit it in where you can, because I know now we start our overlap with the morning schedule. But that's why we have 2 colors, so we can kind of differentiate. So squeeze it in however it works best for you. But yeah, let's do 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, and last but not least, for those night owls, anything that you're doing between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m., you can now fill that in. So maybe you're a late night person, so you don't go to bed till 11:30, 12 o'clock, or maybe you were in bed by 8 o'clock. It's going to differentiate between everyone. You could have a lot in this section, or you could have very few things, just depending on what your schedule looks like. But let's fill that part in now, and then we'll come back after that. So personally, anything that really happens past 9 o'clock usually consists of a movie or a show if we're watching a show, and then bedtime, usually around 11 for me. So my 9 to 12 section is fairly empty in terms of evening activities. So there you go. We should have a full day of kind of things that you do throughout the day. Now, the last thing I want to ask you, if there's anything that you would like to have more time for, to squeeze in like an activity or something you would like to implement more in your daily life, I'm going to get you to write those down in the bottom. So maybe you want to find time to do exercise, or to do yoga or meditation, or to do more art, or talk with family, or whatever that thing or those things are. I want you to write them on the bottom, and then once you've written them on the bottom, you can look on your schedule and see if there's any times throughout the day that you could possibly fit it in. And you can star those areas if you like, or however you want to label those as potential time to do those things that you would really like to do. Okay, so let's do that part right now. So write down the things that you would like to maybe squeeze into this day, and where they might fit, okay? Okay, you guys, so like I was showing you, I've got a few things that I would like to squeeze into my Fridays. I've kind of looked at my schedule and found a few maybe half hours or hours that I can squeeze these things into, so I might try and implement them in future weeks. And I also just noted if it was an AM or a PM thing, a morning or an evening thing. But again, you can do that totally however you want. But yeah, that's everything for our day in the life. Again, you can have it look like this or completely different, or you can decorate your clock more or have more detail or less detail. Whatever works best for you guys is always what's most important. But I hope you enjoyed this prompt, and I will see you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.